Hi everyone, this is Deborah. When I left you last time, I had failed in what I set out to do. So let's see how I go today. So what I'm going to do now is pull the whole thing out. Before I've pulled the second row out, it's super easy to pull out because of the big stitch. But the first row I don't want to pull out until after I've stitched it. Now if you're wondering what this is my bobbin box. And I thread quite a few bobbins, you can see. These are my Juki bobbins. This is my Janome bobbins. I've only got 2 more Janomes left. And I could fill the whole thing. And therefore I don't have to fill bobbins every time I stop because I don't like that. It drives me insane. So I just sit and fill a whole heap of bobbins. And then I've got them in here to be changed over. So I'm not stopping when I'm in the middle of a sewing project. And if you're wondering what this is, this little tool here, I think I got it from a sewing shop. It looks like a piece of dental equipment. And it's great. Great for hooking things, great for lots of things. I don't know what its real use is. I don't even know what it's called. But I'll try and find it and link to it because I know that you're probably going to ask me. Those eagle-eyed viewers of mine who I love will ask me, what is that and where did you get it? Well, I don't know the answer. And it just lives here so that I can, on the side of my machine, so I can grab it and do it when I want. Now, I'm going back to my standard length stitch in a 2.2. I might increase my stitch length to 2.5 actually in the center. And I'm just going to put my foot on the edge, and because it won't be jerking, it'll be much easier to sew. And then I will take out all of that stitching that I did on that first round once I've done this. I'm just getting a bit of thread there on that second row of stitching. I think this is going to be also much quicker, and it's not, no, it won't use as much thread because I'm not going sideways. I'm just going straight ahead. And it shouldn't pucker. Now, I probably should unpick this before I start sewing, at least this bit here, because if I don't, I'm probably going to get it all caught in the stitches. You can see it's super easy. Just run my unpick through those big stitches at the back and pull on them. And I am going to come down again, so I'm not starting right at the very corner. Let me get some more of these stitches out from behind. So I don't think the fabric will pucker this time. So yes, my hope to have something that looked a bit like hand stitching has gone out the window in favour of doing it this way. You can see how easy that is to pull out once I've cut those threads at the back. Let's get stitching. And because I like to show you my fails as well as my wins, hopefully you'll learn. You'll learn something. Always good to be learning. Because I also have my needle in the down position so that when I'm folding my fabric over to unpick these stitches, it's not going to be an issue in terms of the needle moving its position. It's going to stay there. So I'm kind of unpicking one piece of fabric at a time. I'm going to have thread everywhere, but I can pick all that off. I walk around the house with bits of thread dripping off me everywhere. I think all people who sew do that though, don't they? I'm sure it's not just me. It's a good thing my bobbin ran out so that I knew that I could then look at it and that I didn't like what I'd done. Never mind. Got to try these things. If you don't try, you'll never know, will you? Let's try that one. I'm going to go another stitch. Just one more. I think that should be perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm trying to make sure I'm unpicking from underneath because I don't want to cut my fabric. Not that I'm cutting it underneath either, I'm just being careful just in case. I don't want to be accidentally slicing through fabric. try that. No, another one at least. Maybe two. Oh no, one's good. One more stitch. Okay. On to the next edge now. Now I'm going to turn that over again, miter that corner so that it doesn't poke out. Okay, I'm nearly back to the end. That was reasonably quick, even with all the unpicking. This last bit done. No, I need to come further. 1, 2, I think should do it. Yes, that's perfect. And then the only thing with the only thing with having two machines is that I'm looking for the buttons where there are no buttons because it's a different machine. Never mind. All right, that was round 1. I quite like that now. I mean, I would have preferred the other one, but it wasn't to be. So I'm going to move a bit further down to start round 2. So all my back tacking won't be in one spot, or it might show. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go the width of my foot onto the stitch. That way, when I get to these bits, it'll be held in a bit better. So let's I just back tacked very quickly there, and we'll keep on going for round 2. Much easier when you don't have to unpick as you're going. I want to see how they're going, where I've got that overlap happening. That's much better. You can see I can still put the thing in there, but the width apart is much better. I think that's a bit wide. One more stitch needed. Yep, that's perfect. I have to hold each fabric down because it's not pinned or tacked, which I think that when you hand stitch it, you do tack them all down, but you know, I couldn't be bothered doing that. So I'm just making sure that I've got no ripples in it, front or back. Of course, the more that the fabric is caught, and also based on the size of the piece, but the more the fabric is caught as I'm sewing around and around, the easier it will become. But of course, then I'll add the next piece of fabrics as I'm going in, and so there'll be more on this block. I'm not going to get it all done today, I can tell you that. And I was just wanting to measure so that hopefully I can work out, is it about there? See if I can work out where this goes so I don't have to keep turning it back. I think there. See if that worked. Perfect. Okay. Get all this straight under there, not being bunched up or tangled. You can see why they hand tack when they're slow stitching, because this would be a nightmare trying to hold all this together. I can also see I've got more threads to pull off, but I'll do that later. I'm possibly a stitch short there. I'm also back to the beginning. I've done 2 rows and I'll do a few more and then I'll show you how that's gone. But I don't know if you can see there, I've kind of gone about a 1/2 inch there and about a 1/2 inch there, and I think that that looks okay. All right, I've gone around all that and I've gotten to a point where I need to add some more fabric in. So the fabric is puckering a bit, but I'm hoping when I press it, it's not going to be that bad. And I guess, am I glad I tried it? Yes. Would I do it again? No, I don't think I would do it again. There's a lot of stitching and a lot of thread, obviously. But, you know, you can see some of my stitches aren't that straight. But again, when this piece is in the quilt, I think it'll be fine. The other thing I think I should have done was done it on a smaller piece to start with, because I kind of was pretty ambitious for the beginning of this. Now with this one, I need to work out where I'm going to put it. So I need to make sure my raw edges are covered. And that piece is too small, I think. This piece might be better. That's a raw edge. I could turn. That piece is too small as well. Okay, so I think I have to do 2 pieces here instead of 1, which I plan to kind of do 1, but 2 is going to be a better idea, I think. I'll just finger press that bit, and I need to pin it. So certainly once I started pinning things, the whole thing went a lot quicker than having it unpinned in the beginning. Just want to make sure I put that where it needs to be, and that end is pretty good. I'll just miter that corner. So yeah, I think I should have started on a smaller piece than this one. It was definitely way too ambitious, I think. But anyway, that's why we learn, isn't it? Because we try things and fail. Now just let me start this. I'll take that pin out again. The other thing is trying to determine where that stitch is now, which can be a bit hard. I'm not sure I need that pin anymore. But now I have to make sure that when I come down here with, I don't want to put that one on, with whatever piece that can't get my words out, that it is covering the raw edges and tucked under the ones that are not raw. So I'm going to tuck that, actually I might put that over the top there. It may be easier if I went back to the table and did this, but I'm not going to. I'll lift that up a bit and put that under here, just to hold it while I tuck this. I guess that'd be okay there, wouldn't it? What I might do, I've already started, haven't I? Okay. I was going to say I might try and catch the edge of that in as I'm sewing. I'm going to stop and go back and do that, just so it doesn't shift around too much. There you go, that's better. Have I come too far? Yes, I have. I have to go back. That's about right. And this one I'm going to tuck under here. Could I cut it off? Yes, I could, but I'm not going to. At some point, I think the pins become irrelevant. They're certainly fine until they start getting in the way. Now I'm coming up to another part where I probably need to put some more fabric in, because that's a raw edge. So I'm going to tuck this bit under here. And is that a raw edge? No, so I'll tuck it under there as well. So the good thing is that as you go round and round, you get there quicker because you're going in. I think if you were going out, if I'd start in the middle and come out, which may have been better in terms of the puckering, I think it would have broken me by the time I got to the edge. I think mentally this is better because you feel like you're getting somewhere. You can see I've got a lot of puckering here on that corner, but we'll press on. Oh, I've run out of bobbin. Okay. coming to another part, and I'll do this and then I'll stop there. I think I've shown you enough. So again, you just find where you want this to go. You find the turned up edges. You don't have to follow the turned up edges if you don't want to. I'm going to put this one under here like that and pin that in. Then I've got a folded edge here. I've got a raw edge there, so that's all good. And I do like to mitre these little corners, I think. I think that makes it easier when you're sewing it. So I'll do this bit first. I think my mitre just came undone. Yeah, it did, but I can rescue it. And then this is going to go under here because that's a folded edge and that bit there isn't. And then I'm back to the beginning already. Wow. See, it goes very quickly. So that's it for today. I will finish this off and I'll show you the end result in another video. And although it's puckering, I actually don't mind it. See, if you look here, when you look across there, you see all this puckering. I'll see how it goes when I iron it anyway, as I said. But I love this fabric so much. I'm so pleased I'm using some of my Tim Holtz fabric. Just before I finish, I'm going to come and start down here to catch that end in while it's there, while I remember. Otherwise I'll forget and then I'll be wondering what went wrong. I'll stick the pin further to the centre. So it shouldn't take too long to finish, I don't think now. But for now, thanks for joining me. This is Deborah. Cheers.